Let's go. We are here. We are live. We are recording. We are getting ourselves together here. What's going on, people?
Good
Oh,
afternoon, good morning, or good evening.
whenever you decide to look at this thing and stuff, I hope you enjoy it and everything. We're trying out some
This is
new.
probably about our what 400 episode, maybe
Oh man,
500.
we got more than that, man. It's got more than that. This is our I think next month, not March, would be our second full year. We're going on our third year.
We done did more than 3 years, bro.
Well, we had stopped for a while and we started back up. It was 3 years now. This will be 3 years. We started our third year and stuff in March.
And we got stuff in the archives that goes
Right.
back 7 years.
Goes back to 2017. 2017, people. That's where we started.
And we
2017.
talked about all of those things that are going on now. Then we talked about Venezuela and their, population, and all those other different countries of South America and what they were doing at the time.
And
And it's amazing.
I don't think people be remembering the stuff and everything, but we were just getting into where the minority and stuff were taking over. They were getting above that 50% threshold here in this country. And now they have gone way over it. And we talked about the minority and stuff taking over. And but the we folks, man, they hanging in there. They hanging in there. They doing their thing. They holding on with all kind of stuff, man. They got all kind of uh, voting crap going on and telling people they can't vote and shit. And Trump getting ready to do some more shit there for the 2026 election. So we looking at 10 years, man. Shit down there. Yeah, we
If
started
you
in
ever think of, if you think about it though, Ed, really seriously, here's the thing: is just that what you just said, all those things they were doing to try to knock back the vote, suppress, all of that. Here's the thing that they are, in a sense, winning. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about uh, the world was trying to democratize everyone so that people can be free. But you got this thing called greed. And that right there, because see, when you're making money, see, there's ways to make money. And one of the ways is to steal, and the other one is to manipulate. Manipulate the market, manipulate the things that's going on, and that kind of thing. And this is what's been going on around the world. That's why you get all these billionaires, and that's cropped up. So what's going on now is that the billionaires are running the asylum. But let's not forget, you have that old money that's still working. And in my opinion, I think they're the ones that still making the decisions. And they're allowing these new money people like Musk, Peter Thiel, and a few others, just allowing them to do their little thing. Because see, Musk ain't really got a whole lot of money. He got a lot of shares, and he's worth over $700 billion. Because he's got a lot of shares. Because he don't get paid by dollars. He get paid by shares. They pay him billions of dollars, in shares. So, and a lot of these people, this is how they keep their money, and all they do is borrow off of it.
right.
You know, them, They might get a big policy, you know, a 20 million or 30 million or $100 million insurance policy and borrow off of that and live off of that. They don't pay no interest. But the point is that what 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 boggles me is that propaganda and influence and persuasion, that's powerful, bro. You can tell these people and drumming in their head that everybody hates them or you their enemy or they your enemy or whatever, and they believe and they eat the cornbread. They eat all of it with milk, I'm telling you, buttermilk milk, cornbread and buttermilk. I'm serious, bro. They eating it. And the thing is, they don't realize, man, democracy is about voting and putting people in the office and living your best life. And a lot of these people are not living their best life. They getting bamboozled. They're taking their property. They're taking their land. They're moving their jobs away. They're doing all the things. There was a reason why they had all that merger shit going on and these acquisitions and all that because these billionaires the money they want that money to keep on. They want 25, 35%, 40% on their dollar. It ain't good enough to make 10%. 10% used to be real good, but now they got to make 30, 40% on their dollar now, else they gonna fall back. So
But you also
so the
hit on something.
people.
But you also hit on something about the fact that their value and stuff is their cash reserve doesn't reflect $700 billion. Uh, you may only have probably $100 billion in cash, and the rest of it, like you said, the other 600 billion is in stocks and bonds. But they use those stocks and bonds and they borrow money from these banks and they back it up with the stocks and bonds. So really, they're holding on to the stocks and bonds and they're using the bank's money and everything to manipulate and do what the heck that they want to do
Absolutely.
to gain wealth. And that's something that poor folks and a lot of the middle class people cannot do. They don't have that stuff backing them up.
Well, that ain't, Ed, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. That, to me, that is when you say poor folks, working class people, what have you. That is not what the average Joe is looking for. Now, do everybody want to be rich? Yeah, everybody want to be rich, but $1 million ain't like what it used to be.
Oh no, no, no. Hey,
So what I'm saying is that most people now in this country, I can't speak for all the other people in other countries. I'm talking about this country. Most people might want to have a nice place to stay. They want to make sure their kids are going to school properly and everything, getting their education. They want to take a few, vacations, and they want to have a little extra money in their pocket if they pay their bills, and they're happy because they're gonna go to their local bar or their sports bar, or they're gonna go to the movies. They're gonna go to children attractions and all that stuff. This is what America is all about. However, what they have done is they have made people do these things continuously. This is what a lot of the younger families are doing. They're still doing their thing. They're going out to dinner. They're going places and what have you. But it's a struggle. It's a struggle because that's why you went to college or you went to a trade school or whatever, and you work so that you can enjoy your money, the little money that you have, and that's all they want. But when you got all of this chaos going, and now you got to remember, without the chaos, these big TV stations and all of that, they don't make no money because it's always got to be some kind of breaking news. Always got to be something that's going on. And this is what they love about 47. They love this themselves. That's why they treat him as though he's normal. Did you hear that shit what he was talking about today?
No, man, I haven't. I made a conscious effort not to listen to anything that the red-headed monster had to say. I left him alone today. So anything that he said today, you can tell the people about it because I made a
No, well, I'm
conscious.
not gonna tell the people about it because really it wasn't nothing but a bunch of BS. But the
But at least
point
we need to
is,
know what the heck he said, so we know when we see it that it's
well, he
bullshit.
was only talking about, that hey, we're gonna take the oil from Venezuela and we're gonna make sure that that we take care of the people. He lying, he lying. That's what he's doing. He lying, 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 lying. So I don't want to repeat his lies because we know he ain't gonna do that.
Oh well, he
But
said the same thing he's been saying all the time now for the
all the time, and that's
last
all
three
he was
days.
saying. And
Same shit.
that
Okay.
the country is doing great. I've done the greatest thing in the world and all that kind of stuff. Ain't nobody ever did this. Look at the stock market, the 401k. Y'all ought to be happy. How come the people ain't happy? The 401k. Everybody don't have no 401k, jackass.
Man, I don't know why I would have thought that he would have changed his story about now. I think that he would have said something a little bit differently than what he usually say, but that's the same bullshit he's been telling the American people for a long time now. And it's not working because most of the people don't believe that crap. More and more people do not believe that. We know what's
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
and then the pharmacies, the medication, and gone down 1,000%. You know, lying about that medication, talking about and we need to get rid. He talked about John McCain. He talked about Obama.
John
John
McCain.
McCain did the. Oh yeah, John McCain did the big thumbs down. And that was the opportunity to get rid of Obamacare. He said, now we're gonna get rid of Obamacare now. So one of the worst things. Obama was the worst president we ever had. And those Democrats, those Republicans in the audience, a couple of times they even clapped with some of the stuff he said. They ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Are you sure there were
And
some Democrats who were clapping?
I said, I apologize. I said that was he was talking to all the Republicans. They had a Republican meeting, and he addressed the Republicans. The Democrats were having a January 6th
So
meeting,
yeah, I remember. Yeah, they were supposed to be doing that. They
which was good. I listened to a little bit of it, and basically it was the same, stuff. But some of the people that spoke told the truth, and we know how that is. The big thing is that when you don't have no power, they relinquish their power because they didn't get enough people to vote Democrat. This is what you get, bro. They have no power, and they're not using the little power they got. All they're doing is telling us what we already know and what he's done and what they allowed him to do. And it
and
just is calm, and they're not angry. They're not, they're not hollering and screaming and upset. I would be, I couldn't be I couldn't be a congressperson because I would be, my head would explode. I would explode, bro. They are too calm, and the way they talk, they don't say it with passion and upsetness. They're telling us everything that we already know. We know what the hell he's doing and what he's done. So I don't know, man. And that's the reason why I think the people down on the Democrats because the only person that's out there that's talking this really is Jasmine Crockett. She done talk so much, man, I don't even listen to her no more. Because I know what she gonna say, and what she gonna say is the right thing. But these Democrats, man, they are just Sisslinger, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's a Republican. He didn't run again because he knew he was going to be campaigned out. And he spoke in January 6th. He called all of them cowards, especially the Republicans. Called them all cowards.
Who did?
Sisslinger, the guy from Illinois, the Republican.
Hmm.
And he's a retired, I think he's retired military.
Hmm.
And I don't know, man. It's when I listen to our academic or scholarly people or our informative people, and it seems like to me that they talk about what's going on, but man, I want solutions. I want to know a vision. I want to know what we should do, what we should be doing. Now I know we should be voting, but then at the same time, what should we be doing? You know, you can talk about, the Venezuela and you can talk about Gaza and you can talk about all that stuff. And we know that you know a whole lot of stuff about it and you know people that know about it and what's going on. But I'm talking about what should we do in this country? We got, black folks got to come up with a vision of America too. You know, you talking about imperialism and all that kind of stuff. What you want us to be a socialist country? Is
I
that what?
uh I listened to a little bit of what the minority leader in the House had to say yesterday, and he was spouting the same old thing like you said, no enthusiasm, telling people exactly what the man was doing, and we know what he's doing and the lies that he's telling, and he's constantly in a monotone way and stuff saying the same thing that people and stuff know, and not coming forth and everything with some concrete ideas other than he said that they would be passing a uh, this stopgap effort and stuff and everything to allow the Affordable Care Act subsidies and stuff to be go on for another 3 years, and that he was pretty sure that it was going to go through the House and it was going to pass, and he was questioning and stuff, was the Senate going to allow that bill and stuff to go forth, which I think that they're looking at, but we have not heard anything and stuff about what they're planning on doing. And I think that they're doing this and everything because they, like you just said, they don't have a whole lot of power and stuff to enact things or to force things to go through the Congress. They don't. But he can only talk about what he's pretty sure that may happen, and that even though that they're going to pass this thing and stuff in the House, it's not assured that it's going to get to the Senate. Well, I think what he has not and stuff told the American people and stuff is the games and stuff that these people play there on Capitol Hill. And some of the games that these folks play and everything, you can't really come out and tell people that, well, we're gonna play a game with this person over here. We're gonna trick this person over here. Or we're gonna do some bartering and stuff here and stuff. If you want to keep the government open and stuff and everything, you're gonna have to give me this vote if you want, because we know that they only got what? 14 legislative days and stuff before the end of the year, before the end of January. And by then, they're going to have to pass a continuing resolution to keep the government open because they're going to be shut down again. So maybe this is their way and stuff and everything of forcing the Republicans and stuff and everything. So okay, we'll keep the government open and everything, but you're going to have to pass, or you're going to have to, allow this bill to go through, and this is going to have to go through, and hopefully that the Senate will be able to do the same damn thing. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I do know, Ted, and like we've been talking about before, uh, I don't hear a whole lot of people hollering and screaming and stuff about this subsidies and stuff like that. I don't see a whole lot of people and everything hollering and screaming about the SNAP benefits and stuff that have been taken away. I don't see or hear a whole lot of people and stuff and everything out there hollering and screaming and stuff about some of these cuts and stuff that is getting ready to happen in Medicaid. I guess it's only the sixth day of the year and everything, so I guess this whole thing has not sunk in to people and stuff out there, and they need time to be able to understand exactly what the heck is going to happen. Now, with the government and what's going on with them and stuff, sometimes it takes some time and everything before things start filtering down to the common man, the poor folks, the ones who actually need this stuff. So maybe we're just sitting here waiting until the day of going storm hit. I don't know. I'm just thinking because I don't see all this. But maybe it's because these people out there who are in control of the media and stuff that we are seeing is not saying anything about what's going on around the country. So, but I do know that there are a lot of people and stuff out there, Ted, and stuff and everything. They are doing some things. Some of these folks out there, they are trying to make it. What is not being said is that, and that a lot of people haven't realized that, but our biggest employer and stuff in this country, Walmart, is divesting from this country. They're moving
I'm gonna
out.
say good riddance.
But they have been the go-to store for low prices for goods and stuff that were cheap enough for most people and stuff to be able to go in there and and fight this daggone inflationary stuff that we have. So, but because and with them leaving and divesting and stuff within this country and everything, it's going to leave a big hole in our economy. A big hole.
Ed, I'm gonna say it again. Good riddance.
And I'm going to say it's going to leave a big hole and it's going to hurt real bad
Of
because
course, it's gonna hurt. And the
they
thing
have
is, here's
they have a lot of people who work under their workforce. They are largest employer that we have in this country, other than the federal government.
you
So,
remember when I was telling you about the small market, the small businesses.
but they're
Good
going out of business
riddance.
also.
No, they're not.
A lot of them are going bankrupt now because they can't keep
Well,
up.
the thing is that they're gonna have to start more business. They're gonna have to start new businesses. That's all. Because see, number one, Walmart is one of the most damaging corporations in this country. They have knocked out and destroyed more small businesses in this country than any business in the world.
There is nothing right now, Ted, that's going to replace them. Nothing that we got out there that's going to replace them. And it's going to be devastating for a lot of people out there if Walmart does not exist anymore. They have an ecosystem out there and a logistical system out there that nobody individually can duplicate right now.
Do you remember when Walmart first started?
Yep.
Do you know that 80 to 90% of their product came from where?
China,
No, it
Far
didn't.
East.
No, it didn't. 80 to 90% of their product came from Americans.
Well, they said it was coming from American suppliers,
It
but
was
they what?
most of their products were American made.
Well, they said that, but I believe that Mr. Sam and stuff and everything was saying that as an advertising scheme because we realized and stuff and everything that a lot of that stuff was coming from overseas, from China.
Now, as the years and as they grow, as the years went on and grown, they made the decision probably in the year, probably in the 1990s, they decided to go ahead on and start buying foreign goods and putting it in their stores.
And
But
and
they were definitely American
and
made.
most of the reason why was these companies were leaving the United States and going overseas for cheap labor.
Well, yeah, the all the different industries were gone. The furniture stores, all of that was
They were
gone.
leaving
The
and going, and
apparel,
they were
apparel was going. They went overseas. The textile companies went overseas. All of that.
absolutely everybody were leaving because they had cheaper labor.
Yeah. So therefore, Walmart took advantage of it, and they bought in bulk. Like, no, this is how the small business guy got ran out because he can buy stuff in bulk and sell it cheaper. And that's how they made their billions and billions of dollars.
Absolutely.
They
After
knock these small businesses out and go into a community, build a wall. People used to fight to keep Walmart out of their community.
well,
I remember reading the stories, bro.
well, but even though they were some of the bad actors and stuff, a lot of people and stuff, they became very, very powerful and very, very strong because people went to them because they were giving
Well, that's
people
because they got, what do
they were
you
they
think
were
people gonna
giving
do?
products out to people at a lower price, and that's what they
Yeah,
liked.
well, that was their scheme, bro. That was their thing.
Absolutely,
That's how they made their money. And even though
absolutely,
they can buy a 100,000 or a million T-shirts for when the average gross guy that's selling apparel, he can only buy a few T-shirts, and they only make pennies on a dollar, 50 cents on a T-shirt. They
absolutely,
sell it. The shirt costs $4.99, and they only make 50 cents off of it, but they sell millions of those T-shirts.
absolutely.
Whereas the average guy might, if he's lucky, he can buy 500, and he got to pay 49. He got to pay $3.99 for it, or
And that
$4 or
and that's
$3.
not
But he's selling
including
it for $8.99 or $10.99.
and that's not including the logistical costs and stuff and everything of shipping the stuff and ordering it from overseas and shipping it and stuff back into this country and
Oh, and they get a break on that.
getting it through customs.
Yeah, they get a break on that because they buy in bulk.
Right. They're coming in container loads. Matter of fact,
But
they probably was bringing shiploads of stuff over, not just containers. They were going to shiploads of it and shipping it all around the country. And they created a heck of a lot of jobs and stuff and everything because you're talking about truck drivers, you're talking about a lot of other people and stuff and everything that supported their uh, their system and stuff. And all these folks and stuff, if Walmart leaves, doing like they talking about doing, and leaving out and divesting out of this country and everything, it's gonna leave a big hole there, brother. A big hole. And I don't think that small
it ain't
business
gonna
is
be
gonna
that
be able
big
to
of a
fit.
hole because they only have
I
that.
don't
Even
believe
though they
small
are,
business can handle it. I really don't believe that small business can handle it. It's not something that they can handle right now. That's a
well,
big load.
this is where what I was talking about earlier. I said it earlier. We need more small business. I ain't talking about mid-sized business. I'm talking about small businesses. Well, we had those corner stores. We had different people. We have to have people manufacturing and what have you here in this country. It might not be on a large scale, but we need people that can do that. And this is what competition is all about. People gonna start making stuff again. Let their ass go. Because all they was for is profit anyway. And then they was ripping off a lot of the employees and employees not making enough money. They had some of them had to even be on food stamps.
Well,
Some of them was
I, s-
on.
those are some of the backlash and stuff of having the paying lower wages and all that kind of stuff to people and everything. But it's not to fill that gap. If these people leave to fill that gap and stuff and everything, it is going to take a
I'm gonna
tremendous
tell
effort.
you, I very seldom
It's
been
going to
going to
take.
Walmart. I very
I
seldom go to Walmart.
I
And
went
let
to
me
them.
tell you something.
I went to them all the time.
Well, no, I very seldom go to Walmart
I
and do
went to
my
them all the
shopping.
time. Matter of fact, when I looked at my income and stuff, shit, about at least third of my income that I was making was going to Walmart, Walmart and Sam's Club.
The only thing I buy from Walmart is lemons, apples.
Well, that's you, and but there's a whole lot of people out there that kept them people that it, rich that made all the children billionaires because they shop with them, and
Well, that's
they
them.
couldn't
So what?
and
Big
they
deal.
couldn't afford to
More
go
power to
to
them.
they couldn't afford to go to
More
Publix
power to them. They ripped off a whole lot of people
right, then they couldn't
by
afford to go to
underpaying
Publix and
people,
all them with
not
them
giving
high
them
prices.
adequate insurance. They supposed to work 40 hours. If you work 40 hours, you're supposed to get insurance.
Yep,
They cut them down to 32 hours or
right,
36 hours.
and there's a whole lot of other companies that stuff doing the same damn thing that you be shopping at.
We ain't talking about other countries. We talking about Walmart.
Well, we talking about other companies do the same
We're
damn
talking
thing.
about we ain't talking about other companies. We
We
talking about
talking about
Walmart
I'm talking about
because Walmart ain't shit.
the other companies
Walmart
that
ain't
was
shit.
doing.
Walmart ain't shit.
Well, that's
I don't even
you
shop
talking
at
about.
Walmart. I shop at Publix,
You talking about my
high ass
company.
Publix.
You
In
talking about the
fact,
company that I do business
Ed,
with.
Ed,
I do
Ed,
business with them folks.
Ed, Ed. Hey, I wanted me some red beans and rice
That's
yesterday,
my
right?
company,
Ed.
and they are helping out. They're helping
Okay,
us
all right.
out.
Are you a fan of Walmart? So what?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm
big
a
deal.
fan of
But
Walmart.
let me just say this. I went to Publix yesterday, and so I'm looking for either some turkey wings, or either some neck bones or some ham hocks. I go to Publix, and guess what they selling the damn neck bones for? $25 a pack.
You shitting me? God damn it! Do you do? I hope that people out there know what neck bones are. Shit, you can't. Hell,
Ed,
you bad well go out there and buy you some goddamn a steak or a porterhouse or something. Shit, goddamn it, fucking neck bone cost $20 a pack.
I said, what the hell? And I was lucky enough that I found a little smaller pack of 3 or 4 pieces for eight
Yeah,
dollars. So I went on and bought that. But I
when
say
you
$25.
know what you know what I'm gonna start doing when it comes to that. I'm headed up there and I'm gonna find me a ranch or something or a farm and stuff. I'm gonna go up and say, hey man, I need two hogs and one cow and stuff. And I'm
And
gonna
put
have
it in
y'all
your freezer.
and
Put
have
it in
y'all
your
to
damn
butcher them
freezer.
up and put them in my freezer. Shit.
That's the way to go, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna get filling my freezer up with meat.
Shit, that's what I used to do when my kids was little. Buy up a bunch of meat and freeze that shit.
Freezer and ready for them. They can go in there. They got everything. We got hot dogs, hamburgers, porterhouse, ground round. And I want them, and I want that liver, and give me that the head of that something, the yowls, everything, them feet, them tails, everything, everything on that cow that they got, then put them in their package them up. I want them oxtails. And I gotta have them lights. And for you folks who don't know what lights are, those are brains.
Ooh man, I had me some good chitlins on New Year's Day, bro.
Oh man, don't be talking about no chitlins. I ain't had no chitlins. I can't
I had me
I
some
can't
good
afford no
chitlins.
chitlins.
I had me some good chitlins, and then I had leftovers the next day. They was even better.
Wait, man, don't be speaking about that. I ain't had no chitlins all the way. And last time I saw my wife cook some chitlins, man, shit, it's been over a year ago, maybe longer than that. Wait, I ain't gonna tell you what happened, man, to my people. I have a family member who lives in Colorado, and he's been there for about 11 years, and he hadn't had any uh, macaroni and cheese, no dressing, and what else he got? That's something else I've got. He got about four different things he wanted. And he called up the wife and said, his sister said, I need to have me some black eyed peas and all the stuff you put in there and the macaroni and cheese and ship it to me to Colorado. You know how much it costs to ship him some black eyed peas? Uh,
$50.
what?
$50.
Oh no. Guess again.
$100.
Guess again.
150.
Guess again.
Shut up.
He paid $800 to get that stuff shipped to him overnight. UPS.
Damn. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. $800 he paid. He wired the money to the old lady. He sent her $800 to pay the daggone bill to ship it overnight to him because he wanted it so bad. I couldn't believe it. I said, "You got to be kidding me." She said, "No, he didn't. He paid for it." And when he got it, him and his wife got it and stuff, they said that was the best meal they ever had the last 4, 5 years. So
Hey.
she was getting ready to fix some greens and black eyed peas out of a can.
Hey. Hey, God bless him, bro.
The guy, but I do too, man. I couldn't believe it when she told me that. I said, "Yeah, he wired it to me." I said, "You got to be kidding me." He said, "Yeah, he wired that money to me when I was standing up there at the UPS store because they told me how much it's gonna cost to ship it overnight, eight hundred
$800.
dollars, and he paid it.
Wow.
There's no
That's a stir
way.
there.
He could have flew here and got on a plane and flew here and with a round trip ticket and been cheaper than that." He was desperate, man. He was desperate as all get out. Anyway, Ted, we've been talking and stuff, and we've been creating all this mess, and people, everything that we have been telling you is the absolute truth. We haven't lied about anything. We haven't told you all that things out there are cheaper. We haven't told you all and everything that the country is paying down they what $39 trillion debt now. I done brought in over $1 trillion in tariffs and everything. We not gonna
Oh,
lie to you.
that's the lie you're telling now, huh?
Yeah, at least he done brought in over $1 trillion being tariff money.
I heard they didn't even pay the soldiers 1720
They
1776.
and well they ain't got that money yet. They ain't got that money yet. Yeah, the check ain't came yet.
And what about the 2000 he's supposed to be giving all the working people?
It ain't came yet. It hasn't came yet. He hoping that they done forgot. He telling people You all file your taxes and stuff and everything. That's how you're gonna get that money. File your taxes and you can get that money back in the refund. Everybody's not gonna get it now, but he said, and I think it's what everybody was waiting on. Too. That's probably why they're so quiet because they're waiting on tax time to come so they can file their taxes and get that money the from the federal government to help them to pay their daggone insurance bill and all that other stuff. Be able to eat.
Well, he has such a shortage right now. He got quite a few people doing double duty because nobody want to work for his ass no more. He
Well,
got Bassett doing, he over IRS and he's the Secretary of Treasury. He got uh, Marco Rubio over security and he's the Secretary of State. So who knows what else he got these people doing.
well,
And
well,
he's putting everything on them.
they're getting ready to hire 4,000 Secret Service agents, 4,000 more Secret Service agents. They got to get them
Secret
because
Service.
Secret Service. They
Why?
got to they got to hire them. They said because of they're getting ready for the 2028 election, and they also getting ready and stuff and everything because they figure that there's going to be a lot of folks out there who going to be putting out uh, counterfeit money, and they in charge of that. They need them agents. And the FBI and stuff, their time is being spent on those Epstein documents. All the agents, they got at least 300 agents and stuff working on redacting all those documents.
Well, the thing is, to me, that right there is a no brainer. Ain't nothing gonna come out of it. They're
Well,
gonna make sure that.
well, I think a lot of those victims and stuff that came out now, the perpetrators and stuff now are making deals behind the curtains and stuff and everything, and not saying anything. They're buying them girls off. Anybody who comes forward, they buy them off, giving them money quietly.
I agree. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
They already
They're gonna
started.
get their they're gonna get their couple of million or 3, 4 million, 5 million, whatever.
Absolutely. They're paying them off right now behind the scenes. They're paying them girls off. Keep them quiet. They're using that money that they have to pay them off. They got to get them paid off. They ain't got no other choice because they got to stop them from talking. That's the only way it's gonna leave and go away. Once they pay them off, then they don't have to worry about anything because Congress is gonna let that stuff die. It's gonna go away. So all you young ladies out there who've been abused and used and stuff by them pedophiles and stuff and everything, you better go on out there, get your attorneys and stuff and everything, and holler and stuff and say, hey, he did this to me too, so y'all need to get y'all checks. That's what they
Because
doing. They
they're
paying
saying
them.
there was thousands of them.
There's thousands of them. They paying them off, brother. They gotta pay them off. They gotta get their money. Shut them up. Keep your mouth shut. And they filing them non-disclosure agreements. If they sign their name, this is non-disclosure. You cannot open your mouth and say another word. Final word, Teddy.
Well, this is my thing. Just we in the new year now. We sort of realizing that I heard somebody say this, not my words, but they said we're dealing with monsters and gangsters and grifters. And I'm gonna tell the people, watch out for the grifters, stay away from the gangsters, and prey on the monsters. Ask God to help you on the monsters, because those monsters, boy, they'll creep up on you. Them gangsters just all about the money. So You know, most of them just about the money and making money. They hustlers. But those monsters, boy, they, you know, they'll, you know, they wipe you out. Look what they just did to Venezuela, bro. That's some monstrous gangster shit. They bombed those people up, bro. 4 cities. Turned out the lights. They was in the dark. The whole state, the whole country in the dark. And 47 said, "Hey, we do it. We can do it to anybody."
Yeah, right. He can, and that's why they scared. That they are very afraid that he's going to do it again. They are very afraid that he's going to do
They
it again.
coming. They
So
coming for Cuba, bro.
no, they're not. They're not going to get Cuba yet. They ain't coming for them yet. They're not. They're not going to get over there and bomb them people. I know they're talking
Well,
tonight.
they looking. They,
I know they're saying that
you know, and they want to
I know
stop
they're
Brazil
saying that.
too, because you know they want to stop Brazil too,
They
because you
ain't
know
going.
Brazil is in that shit too. They, you
They
know, they
not.
doing all kind of negotiations with China too.
They not going to bother them folks till they not going to get out there. They got their hands full there in Venezuela. Did you hear them people saying that they need at least $2.8 billion and stuff and everything? And Trump said he gonna pay that money so these folks can go over there and occupy those wells over there so they can get the oil out of there. So the company said they're not gonna spend that money. So Trump said he's gonna give that money to them. He can't afford to do that shit. There's no way he can afford to get that money to do that, to get those things out of there. And he's going to have to send some troops over there if he wants to do anything. The American people is not going to allow him to send them troops over there and put them on the ground and put their lives in danger because somebody's going to get killed and somebody's going to die. Cannot put people on the ground, boots on the ground inside their country, and somebody ain't going to die. There is a hell of a thing to do. Costs a whole lot of money that we do not have.
Ed, you ever heard of mercenaries?
You got to pay them.
That's what I'm saying.
They got the money to pay them. They're not going to pay
Oh, they
them.
got money. They got money. Because number
United
one, he
States,
already just took. He
United
just
States
took
is broke. They
Ed.
broke.
He just took $10 million from daycare
He he
from
he
Colorado, from
he
Illinois,
he
from
gonna
Minnesota,
he
from
gonna have
California.
he gonna have to give it back to them. They're gonna be going to court and they're gonna give the money back to them. That money is not gone. I guarantee you, next month they're going to have to get that money back. You cannot sit there and tell people. Now he might be able to have a good fight with Minnesota because they got problems and stuff there, but the rest of them they're going to stay. They're going to fight him tooth and nail for that money, and he ain't won any one of those cases yet that he took money from me. When he took that money from those states in New York, he had to get that money back because the feds and stuff, the courts and stuff told him to give them people their money back. You cannot take it. And he had to give it back. You couldn't stop it. They cannot win not one case, Ted. They go into court, they can't win a case. Hell, they might lose the case with this Mandaro. He done already told me so. I'm a prisoner. What did he say he was? He wasn't a criminal, he was a prisoner of war. He's I'm a prisoner of war. They might lose that case. They might have to send him back just like they did that boy down there in New Jersey. What his name? Abrego? They finally had to bring him back because they couldn't win that case. Man, they ain't got no attorneys. All them folks they got up there in dumb as feline. They just mess around there. They file their court cases on time. They, they misspelling words and stuff in the goddamn the document. They missing deadlines and stuff. Oh,
We're in a
They have to
mess,
send
bro.
that boy back to
We are in a
Venezuela.
mess.
I'm sorry, people. I shouldn't be saying
But
this.
they gonna have that man in jail, man, until what? March, until they have another case, another court hearing.
But Ted, they have the paperwork they got to file. They got to file all the other stuff. They done already took one of the counts away already because they can't convict him for it. They said they initially had what 4, 5 charges on him. They done took one of them back already because they can't figure out if he did this shit or not. We got some of the dumbest people up there in the world who supposed to be attorneys.
You would think that they would have the legal paperwork already
They
ready to
got
go.
nothing, man. They already took. They probably gonna take at least take 2 more charges off of them. Shit, they got some dumb son of a gun.
Hey, the judge gonna say misdemeanor and pop the stick.
All of them. They done bought these people done went and bought they ain't go license and stuff. They ain't even good attorneys. Most of them they don't pass the bar because they done paid somebody. I'm sorry, people. I shouldn't be saying this about our country. Anyway, folks, we will see y'all later. This is the
Clown show.
Cats and Jammer kids is going on now.
It's a clown show.
Bye bye, people.